Okay, welcome to part 7 of this series on how to make this island takeover game. And today, what I'm going to cover is a setup screen, or at least the fundamentals of this. I don't have a lot of time to work on this, so I'm just going to try to do whatever I can in like the next 20 to 30 minutes and then call it there. Um, but basically, I've made a couple changes. I'll just go over those briefly and then I'll go into the topic, or go into the programming, I guess just very quickly here so I can do this. Basically, I added the start screen. Very rudimentary, very basic. All it is just a or a text and a start game button, and then you press it and then it starts the game. I've also modified some of the text, as you can see. It's all actually, I've modified almost all of it except the turn one, and it's all monospaced because monospace is very nice for formatting and stuff. And I like this font. It looks nice. It's like the programming kind of font. I don't know. But yeah, I like it. It also adds for this formatting, as I said, for here because I added some white space on each ends. There's something I'll go over that in a second if I remember to. But yeah, it's as you can see, the formatting is staying consistent even when it swaps between lengths of numbers and stuff like that. So that's pretty nice. Anyways, let me just cover this real quick. Let me actually just where did I do that text at? I'll just tell you how I did it. This right here. It basically, when you stringed out format, this adds. I can't remember which direction. I think this adds 3 to the right of it, and then this adds 3 spaces to the right of it, 3 spaces to the left of it. So no matter what, it will take up 3 spaces, but it won't always be 3 spaces, if that makes sense. So for example, if you have a 2-digit number, there will just be 1 space to the side. So that's kind of how I did that formatting. But for the start screen, I made an initialize start method, which has a VBox, and a VBox is basically just a vertical box. Everything that gets thrown into it is stacked vertically. So as you saw, the button was below it, but if I do an HBox, for example, it will show up to the right of it. And this is because everything is thrown in horizontally, if that makes sense. So as you can see, it shows up like that, which I don't like. So I just made a VBox. Made it 1280 by 720, set the alignment to center, made the title text, made the size of it, made the start game button, and then all the button does is just changes the current state to state.game. And then I added them, and then that's really it. And you might be wondering, what is state.game? Well, state is an enum. I have cur state, which is basically an instance of that enum, and it has 4 states. It could be start, game, over, or start, game, setup, or over. Which start would be start screen, setup would be when you're in the setup screen, and game would be when you're playing, and then over would be when the game is over, obviously. And I added a timer within the start method. As you can see, I just made these. Parent game is initialize root. I would have named it initialize game if I planned ahead better. Start is initialize start, and then that's the method I just talked about. And then basically all I do is I have a timer which continuously checks the state, and if the state changes, then it swaps the scene basically. So this swaps the scene to start, and then when I press start game, it swaps the scene to game, which then sets the root to the game root. And that was my as fast as possible way to describe everything I did. I might have missed a couple little bits here and there, but I think that's okay. So I started working on a setup screen, and essentially what I have so far is an H box, which is 1280 by 720, and it's centered bottom, or it's going to be positioned bottom center. And the reason for that is, for example, the way I'm basically going to set this up is that I'm going to start game, and instead of attack, end turn, all these showing up, I'm just gonna have a thing on the bottom that says like keep this map, yes or no. And if they say no, then it'll re-roll the map. If they say yes, then all of this pops up and the game continues like normal. And that's basically what I started. I didn't really get too far on it, so I'm just gonna talk about how to do that, or how I'm gonna do it. I also want to add a slider to pick the size of the map, like the number of tiles, but I don't know if I'll get to that today. We'll see. So I've already added like the yes button, and that just changes the state to game. And the problem with this though is that I need to be able to set everything else to be not visible. So what I'm gonna do, I need to set the basically I need to do initialize the attack button. I need to do attack.setVisible to false. I made them all globals. It's a really sloppy solution, but that was the best way I could think of real quickly because again I don't have a lot of time here. But we'll do endTurn.setVisible to false, and again this will set both of those to not show up on the screen, and then we'll keep the tile counter and stuff. I don't really mind that. That's actually kind of helpful for when you're picking the map. I guess, I don't know. It doesn't really hurt to do. And then we'll do player display dot set visible to false as well. So now all of these by default will be false. And if the state switches to game, then they will be set to visible. So I can do it down here. I actually didn't plan on doing it this way, but I can do it like this, I guess. It would be, make sure I got these right. Attack.setVisible true and turn.setVisible true. Player display.setVisible to true. So this shouldn't actually modify the code right now because I don't have it going to the setup state ever. So let's just see. Yeah, so this shouldn't actually change anything. Okay, but now what I'm going to do is modify the initialize start, or the start button, I guess, start game button, and actually go to state.setup now. And this should modify it a little bit. I should just have a yes button there, and then it'll display the other stuff, I guess. Oh, but it doesn't display. Okay. Interesting. Oh, I know why. Yeah, okay, I know why. So the problem with this is that I actually make the map in the root, and that's part of the other game, or the game. So maybe I won't even do a setup state. Maybe I'll actually just do state.game and work with it from there, even though this is kind of ugly. So if you do state.game, nothing should, or I guess it should show up now. I guess I'll have to or I know what I can do. Hang on. So I can modify this to be outside of this. So I might not even need the setup. I'm trying to think. Yeah, because the problem is Yeah, the problem is because I display it all within the game state, but I don't display it in the setup state. So I need to have a way to essentially, I guess what we can do is yes.setOnAction. Whoa. Do something like this. Let's see if that works for anything. I don't know. We're just playing with stuff now at this point. So the yes doesn't show up. Oh, because that's part of the setup. So what I actually want to do is maybe add I'm trying to think how I want to do this. So the problem with this, let's actually return an H box instead. And then we'll do return setup choices. And then we'll add the H box to the initialize root one. So what we would do here is, let me just add it somewhere and just see what happens. root.getChildren.add initialize setup. Let's just see what this does. I don't expect this to work, but just see what comes up and we'll work from there. Okay, so it shows yes, and then when that comes up, and then the button has to go invisible. Oh, and then oh, because those are ones. I was going to say, why can't I click those? Okay, so then we just do once yes is hit, it will also set no, wrong one. Once yes is hit, it will also do the yes button and everything else, and then that should work fine. So we have start game, then it just shows the map, and you say yes, and then you can continue. Hopefully that all is functional. We'll see. Now let's add a no button. We'll do button, which is a little more interesting. No equals new button. No, and I'll make all the formatting and stuff prettier later. I might not have time to do it right now though, so I'm just kind of trying to crank whatever I can out. Set on action E. Now what we want to do for this is if you choose no, it basically just completely throws out the other tile generator and redoes it all essentially. So is there maybe I can make like a regenerate function? Would that be possible? Let's try it. We'll copy this and then we'll say make a method called I haven't played with this method in a while. Jeez. Make a method called public void regenerate grid. And then we want to do this again, call that again. We want to maybe set all of the, so we'll do we'll do a nested for loop int I equals 0, I less than, where's the max size of the grid? 10, 20, okay. I less than 10, I plus plus, then for int j equals 0, j less than 20, j plus plus, grid I j equals false. Now that should reset all of it. The problem is I think the tiles drawn in here? They might actually be drawn within this method, which could be an issue. Yeah, it is. So we can do, well, we have tiles. Yeah, we do have tiles. What we can do is root.getChildren.add t-square. So basically we want to get rid of this. Or maybe even, trying to think how I want to do this. So we want to basically remove all of these, all of the squares and all of the dice text, and then just do it again. This should be enough to regenerate it. That should be fine for regenerating a grid. The problem is actually removing and then redrawing. So we want to do something like, where am I at here? Where am I at? I totally lost where I was. Get square. Oh, that's okay. I was gonna say color blue. That's I'm not doing the water tiles. Okay, never mind. Okay, so how do we do this? We could do. Oh, I know what we can do. Maybe this might work. This is a very big maybe, but we'll see. We'll do maybe a remove tiles method. And then we'll do public void remove tiles. And then we'll do a pubic for tile t within tiles. Want to do root? Oh, we don't have access to the root though. That's the problem. Okay, we're gonna. Oh, I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that at all. Because I don't have access to the root. So maybe we'll pass in the root somehow. So I'll do something like, I don't know if this is possible, but like parent root. And then when I call initialize setup, I would have to do, this is very kind of wonky, but we can do game maybe. And then Now we have the root. I don't know if that's actually, that might, honestly, this could be completely wrong. So don't start following along here. This this is just me coming up with some wonky choices. And then we'll send in root, and then we'll take in a parent root as well, and then we'll do a root dot get children. Get children. Oh, can I not do it from here? Might not be able to do it from this. Okay, never mind. Change of plan. Let's just make it. I didn't think that would work, but it was worth a shot. Let's just make it a global and see what that messes up. That might be annoying to do, but again, it's really ugly to make so many globals, but I don't know how else to get around that. Remove tiles. Oh, okay. I might mess with some stuff, though. What is wrong here? Oh, no, that's just marking it wrong for no apparent reason. Okay. And then we'll do pane root. We'll just say root here, and then we'll just move this outside, and hopefully that doesn't break anything. Okay, and then we'll do remove tiles, so root dot get children dot remove. Can I actually just do tiles? Can I do that whole thing? I might be able to. So let's just see what this does real quick. I might not have to remove them one by one. Where's my no button? Oh, did I not add it? I don't think I added it. Yeah, I didn't add it. Okay. Add all. Yes. No? This should just remove it. My dogs are barking, by the way, if you can't hear them. And then that doesn't remove it. Okay, so it does not remove it. Oh, it removes it from the root, but it doesn't. No, if it gets removed from the root, it should. So that's just not removing it from the root. Never mind. So I need to do it a different way. I didn't know if that would work or not. That was just a test there. Where did I literally, I'm getting so lost in my code. I need to be more organized. Can I do remove all? Maybe? Again, I have no idea if this will work. No. Okay. But this should theoretically work. For tile T within tiles. Root dot get children dot remove T. Hopefully? No, that doesn't work. Ah, that's annoying. Well, they're removed. Wait, no, they're not. No, they're still there. So why is it not removing? Is there something I'm missing? Okay, so I'm trying to figure out why this is not working, because this should work. I'm trying to think why it wouldn't. Because basically, I have almost the exact same code for one of my other games, and this works flawlessly. For example, let's do one with the asteroid. There's an asteroid that comes down, and basically, if the asteroid goes off of the window, root.getChildren.remove asteroid, and then I remove it from the list, which is, I have to do it kind of a weird way. But it works. I don't know why. I don't know why this doesn't. Boolean remove. What? So I'm really confused why this isn't working. So no.setOnAction equals E, or okay, and then it removes the tiles. So what it should do is when you press the no button, it should immediately just remove every. Well, let's just see if it's getting to this. Let's just say system.out.println hi. Let's just see if it's getting to this, just to make sure it's working right. It is, okay. But it's not removing them from the root, which is strange. Oh wait, hang on. I want. No, that goes to state.game now. It should remove it. Given object cannot contain an instance of tile. Expected node. did I add? What did I add? I added the nodes, or I added the tiles directly to it, I believe. For tile t, root.getChildren.add t.getSquare. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, maybe I gotta do t.getSquare. Let's try that. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Okay, that does remove them. Perfect. Okay, and then we gotta do t.getText as well. Or t. What is it? Get dice text, I think. We don't need the highs anymore. And then we need to also be able to redraw the tiles after I actually call it again. So we'd have to do another, we have to have a redraw method basically. So that removes it all, and then you can do nothing basically. Might also want to do a, well, cause I need to update the number that displays down there, like when it says 29 tiles or whatever, but we'll figure that out in a second. And then we'll do tg.regenerate grid. And then we will also do, I don't think you can actually do this, but you can do tiles.remove remove t. I don't actually think this you can do it this way. It's kind of weird. It doesn't like when you remove within a for loop. So you need to have like a secondary variable just to store each one you're removing. Yeah. So I guess we can do is write this to another list maybe. That might work. So we can do array list tile rem tiles for remove tiles, and then we can do rem tiles dot add t, and then do tiles dot remove all rem tiles. That might work. I don't actually know. No, it doesn't like that. Okay, so we have to figure out a way to basically clear the... is there like a clear method maybe? Tiles dot... clear. Oh. Oh, well that's convenient. That might be able to... That might be good then. Let's see. That might be like the most perfect thing I could have had. Is there a clear method? Yeah, there is. Okay, I think that worked. So now we cleared it out. And now we have to regenerate it. So we're going to do tiles equals tg.regenerate. Oh, tiles equals... no, we do tg.regenerate grid. And then we want to do tiles equals tg.getTiles. Yeah, that should be good. So now we have all the tiles back, and then we want to do redraw tiles. And we'll make a method for this, and then we'll do public void redraw tiles. And we'll do for tile t within tiles. Pass in, or then we'll just do root.getChildren.add t, or t.getSquare, and then we'll do t.getDiceText, and hopefully this should be it. So let's see. Counting on it. I'm praying it works. Start game. No. And then, whoa, that's interesting. But it kind of works. It kind of does. I'm wondering why it generates so weirdly like that. Is there some variables I need to reset in here? I might have to reset a bunch of variables actually. Let's reset like everything. Yeah, these all gotta like, everything's gotta be reset. Let's literally just like reset everything. All of these. I'll just copy and paste them and then remove the ints off the front and then do that. Oh boy. It's basically working though. I think we should be okay for now. I'm curious if everything else is dynamically updating as well. I don't know if it actually is. Let's see. Like if all like the display numbers and stuff. So 25, 25. No, it's not. I mean, I'm curious why it's doing that. So, I guess what I can do is also update distribute dice, or not distribute dice, some of the display things. I don't know if I really need to, though. I'm just wondering, I don't know why it would do that. Distribute dice. Is there something within the distribute dice method, maybe? Like, is there any, like, specific num tiles equals 0? Yeah. Oh, wait. Why did I set num tiles to be... Oh, that's why that was off by so much, because num tiles was starting at 5, so we actually need to reset num tiles to 5, I think, as well. So we had to do num tiles equals 5, and that might be able to do it now. Maybe. Okay, there we go. Now we're generating different maps. And then we can just start the game and then play as normal. No, we can't. Tune in next time to find out. I don't have time to do this. I don't know why this isn't working. I will fix that next time. I'm sure it's something just stupid I missed, but... oh, you also can click on them. I need to change that as well. But we're generating different maps. Now I just have to get it to work. So, thanks for watching. This was a little rushed, but I will be back in the next one, and hopefully I will fix that up. Okay, so it's early in the morning. I didn't finish it last night, but I literally, like, I woke up today and then just, like, thought, like, oh, wait a second, that's why it's not working. And then pulled out my laptop, worked on it, and it should be all functional now. So I'll just explain real quick what I did. I don't even have my mouse plugged in, so I'm going to be using my little trackpad or whatever. Anyways, so I had remove tiles, tg.regenerate grid, tiles equals tg.get tiles, draw tiles, and that was where I had it ended at. But we also needed a, or actually, I also renamed it draw tiles rather than redraw tiles and called it from here. So I removed that for loop and just put it in draw, and then it just calls draw tiles because it's the exact same thing. It's the same for loop. And tile buttons was also declared right here, and that was basically, that's why it didn't work, is because I declared all of the buttons there. So I made a tile buttons method just to initialize all of the tile buttons. As you can see, I just copy and paste. Ugh, voice is going out. It's too early. Just copy and pasted all of the code and put it in that, and then I called it from the no button, and then I did update tile countdown, which I already had available to me somewhere. Yeah, right here, and it just updates it. And now it should work. I also added a check. I really need to make it one big if statement rather than adding it to the end of all of them, now that I think about it, but it works for now. I added a check just to say attack.isVisible for each action of the button. Yeah, I could have just done one big if statement surrounding all of these, which makes a lot more sense, but oh well. And the reason for that is because I didn't use the setup state, so I can't just do like state and state is state.game, because it already is state.game. So I had to use some kind of a weird workaround, and I just used attack.isVisible because it's only visible when you're playing the game. And that was to disable the buttons when you're going through the setup stage, when you're picking your map. So for example, I can't click any of these, as you can see. I don't know if you can hear my mouse. I'm assuming you can. And also, then you press no, and then you can see these are also updating. and it'll just keep cycling through until until you pick one. So let's say I want, let's just keep spamming it. I also spaced these out a little. It wasn't really much. I didn't add the prompt yet, but that's not a huge deal. And then you say yes, and then you can play like normal. So for a second I thought that didn't work, but I just missed the button. Okay, so before my voice cracks for a 50th time, that'll be it for this episode. Even though it's a little weird that I just came back, sounding like I'm half dead because I actually am. So yeah, thanks for watching for real this time, and I will see you in the next one.